Welcome to Rhythm and Roads podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest. We have filmmaker and the programming director for Las Cruces International Film Festival, Natalie Streander. Welcome to Rhythm and Roads.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, and happy April, it's April 1st, so
Yeah, happy
new
April
month.
Fool. I know it's like, is the podcast gonna be a joke because it's
Yeah, I'm
April
like,
Fool?
just
Is
kidding.
it
I'm
really
going
gonna
by.
happen?
I
Like,
know. Be all like, what was that show called Punked?
Mhm.
Yeah, with Ashton Kutcher. That was funny. Well, welcome, Natalie. Appreciate you coming on. I take it you and I mean everyone else, so excited about the film festival coming up very soon. But we want to get to know you and your journey as a filmmaker and how you got started as a programming director. Which once I found out and you told me, I was like, wow, that's so cool that you got to be the programming director. But let's start with your journey of a filmmaker. So,
Yeah.
who or what inspired you when you were young, to want to pursue film?
Damn, that's a good question. It's an interesting story because I was in, I think, middle school and I took like a computers class and our teacher was going over Windows Movie Maker and how to make videos in Windows Movie Maker.
Remember
And
that.
my friends and I decided to be a little ambitious and make a music video.
Oh,
And it
cool.
was probably terrible, but we had so much fun doing it. And I remember thinking, like, oh, I wish this could be a job. And then I realized that it could be, that I could become a filmmaker. And so I kind of just started pursuing that ever since, or it had been on my mind since I was in middle school. And then when I was looking at colleges, I just started thinking, hey, let me go into film school and see what that's about. And I did. I went to NMSU's CMI program and got my film degree there. And then
Oh, Aggies.
yeah.
So that music video that you did when you were in middle school, were you the pop singer? Were you the
I
main
think it
one?
was. I think we like switched out. So it
Oh, you
was,
switched out? Okay.
yeah, so it was like three of us. It was
I
me,
was
this
like, was
other
this
girl, and
like
one
the
of our
Britney
guy friends.
Spears, Christina Aguilera kind of
I
thing?
think it was like Lady Gaga,
Oh,
Katy
snap.
Perry, something
Okay.
outrageous but fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, we all kind of switched out.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you sing Poker Face, your turn.
Yeah, exactly. You got the chorus, I have the bridge.
Right. That's funny. Wow. Okay. So because of that, it got you the interest to pursue film, and then, so like, was it really just that what you did at middle school that really did that for you, or was there like a film? Was there other friends that were doing films, and you were just like, wow, this is like, I really need to know more about this craft, this filmmaking experience.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the story that I had isn't all that inspiring. I'm like, oh, we did a Katy Perry
I
music
was
video.
like,
Cool.
whoa.
No, I think it's always been something on my radar. I used to really love watching the Academy Awards, even from being like little. It was always so inspiring to see the teamwork and the collaboration it takes to make a film and to see how many people were a part of it. So it's always something I kind of had interest in. And to me, the root of filmmaking is storytelling, right? And I've always really loved telling stories. So when I was really, really young, that would look like, drawing things, and then I would like handwrite stories and I would type stories. And then that kind of translated really beautifully into telling stories through filmmaking. So I think it really stemmed from a love of storytelling for sure.
Awesome. Do you remember? Well, you probably do remember, but what it was your first script that you wrote probably when you were young, high school, early 20s?
I didn't write a script actually until I was in college, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Yeah, so I wrote a script when I was in college and it was about this couple that was they were on the verge of divorce. I was handling tough topics
Oh,
at the ripe
man.
age of 18. A couple that was on the verge of divorce and they took a road trip, a cross-country road trip as a last-ditch effort to save their marriage and discovered a dead body on their journey. And
Oh, wow.
they fixed their marriage through just figuring out what to do with this dead body. And that was
What? That's interesting. And was it ever made into an actual short film?
no, and I would actually love to eventually
Oh,
make it.
yeah. I'm like, let's do it, man. Let's
Yeah.
go. That's interesting. Like, okay, we're gonna get divorced next month. Okay. Oh, look, there's a dead body. Let's see what we can do about that. All right.
That
Hey, we're
solves
back together.
everything.
Cool.
There's probably so many
Like,
plot holes that I
that's
have to
interesting.
like rethink now, but
That's wow, that's interesting. I would definitely try to keep that on the radar for a future project. Just
totally.
saying, that already intrigued me where I'm like, I want to watch that.
Hey, glad to hear it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So from there at NMSU, I mean, I've been to the CMI. It's very cool. I've went to visit. Have a lot of family and friends that went to NMSU, and I'm just a big supporter of the school. I love what the vision is, what they do for the community, and just the filmmakers and everyone else too. So from that point, what was your first film? Did you direct a film after college?
Yeah, so I directed a couple of films in college, then that made me realize that I did not want to be a director. That
Oh
I was
no, really?
Yeah,
What?
I didn't like having all of the decisions on my shoulders. Like, that just felt like a lot. So I
Hours.
kind of moved out of directing a little bit. But I started kind of moving more into logistics. So like
Oh,
producing, unit production, managing, line producing, stuff like that.
oh.
Um, and then finding still like having my creative spark in writing, but
Mhm.
not so much directing. I would start doing more of like the logistical stuff outside of college.
Interesting. So, did you ever direct a film though, like from beginning to end? And then after that, you decided to back out?
Yeah, I directed a couple of student shorts
Okay.
from beginning to end, and they were disasters.
There were disasters? What?
I think so. I did not enjoy the directing aspect. I just kind of, not that I wanted to take more of a back seat, but it was just too much creative control that was overwhelming. So I
Wow.
kind of stepped back from that.
Okay. And did these films get into like film festivals where it's just a one-time thing? All right, we're done. Let's go. Move
It was
on.
a one-time thing. They're in the
Oh, snap.
archives to never be
Like
seen
never
again.
be seen. You're like, we're not even gonna look back. We're just moving forward. Like put that in
But
the vault, man. Close that up.
I know, like, don't look back.
Oh my God.
It's in the vault with the Katy Perry music video.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's funny. The Katy Perry. Oh, so it was Katy Perry.
That or Lady Gaga, probably both. I think we just,
Probably both. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
you
All right,
know,
let's put this song out. Okay. Don't worry. We all have our phase where we were pretending we're Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that.
oh, totally.
Back in
Yeah.
middle school, you know. Anyway, I don't want to go there.
Are NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say I have seen Backstreet Boys twice. I have never seen NSYNC, and because I think when they split up, it was like early 2000s, and at that time I was really not big on NSYNC, but Backstreet Boys I was more brought up on. And so yeah, I've seen them twice in concert. They do put a good show on. But from NSYNC, I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Justin Timberlake. Big. So that's more than Backstreet. Yeah, I've seen Justin twice in concert, and he just puts on a show that you're just like, damn, man, you still got it, even when you're a dad. He still does all the cool moves, does everything. And I saw him last year in Phoenix. And actually, when I first saw him, he was like it was 2018 when I first saw him, and he was just the way he is, pop singers at the time, and he was very just like, look at me. But what was different was that in this recent tour that he was on last year, and I saw him in Phoenix, is that he was more well, he's a dad and father, he's a husband and all that. And the thing is that he was very different this time, as in a good way, meaning that he was connecting with a lot more fans. He was calling out to young kids, like, "Hey, like saying hi to them with their parents, and be more like a father out there too, like talking about his kids." And I was like, I have never seen Justin like that in
Yeah.
prior shows. Like, he was more intimate and with his connecting with his fans in a father, way, kind of at times. Like you're like, hey guys, like you say, hey, that's so cute. Thanks for creating that. Like in a way that was like, wow, dude, good job. And a lot of my friends that did see that same tour, they were like, yeah, I noticed that too. Like that's cool. You get to see that father side of Justin. So, all
Oh, that's
right, we're
really
not doing this about Justin this episode here. That's April Fool's joke. All right, we're
Yeah,
talking about
right. It's
Justin.
about Justin
I
Timberlake.
know, yeah. But anyway,
Oh, that's really cool.
asked, you're like, crap, why did I ask him that? Didn't
No,
think
not
we
at
were
all.
gonna
I'm a
go the
huge
whole
Justin
journey.
fan.
Oh yeah, but it was cool. I actually preferred this recent tour than the first one I saw him. So what
Nice.
about you? Backstreet Boys and Sync?
Totally in sync all the way.
Oh,
I
bye bye
love,
bye.
yeah, love Justin Timberlake growing up. Had the biggest crush on him and hated Britney Spears as a child because they were like dating or something.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever happened to Britney? I don't know. Who knows? But I know she has a book out that she brought out last year. That's all I know.
Yeah, yeah.
But and that thing is, Britney Spears really did him bad, because he had a hard time.
Oh, dang.
I think it was Britney that broke up with him.
Yeah, you would think I would know because I was so
Oh
obsessed with
yeah,
that,
come on, you were the huge fan of them, and if
right?
you hated Britney, you should know the details.
I don't.
No, I think that's what because I heard something back then that Justin took it really bad or hard for the breakup.
Oh,
That's why he wrote that song. All right, we're gonna move forward after this, okay?
yeah.
He wrote the song from that Future Sex Love Sounds album. Remember that album?
Oh, I don't think so. Honestly, I
You
didn't
don't know
follow
that
him much
album?
after NSYNC. I'm such a
Oh
poser,
shoot! All right,
but yeah.
so that's one of Justin Timberlake's solo albums, and there's a song on there that's pretty much written about Britney.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so that came out in like 2006, and when
Huh.
we heard that song, we were like, "Yep, that's about the story behind them."
Oof.
Really good though. It's what goes around comes around, or something like that.
Huh.
What goes around comes around. Listen to it, please, after we leave.
I
It's
totally will.
it's a
I'm
fl-
going down a Justin rabbit hole after this.
yeah, that was like the top song when that album came out in 2006, and still good. So anyway, all right, enough about Justin and Backstreet Boys. We're gonna be all singing right now. You want to sing? Let's do this. Ready? One. I'm just fine now. We're gonna
Oh,
do.
I was, oh, which one? I'm
Like,
ready.
oh man, here we go. We karaoke time. I was about to bust out "Bye Bye Bye," but no,
Oh, dang.
the dance moves too. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
I'm ready for it.
All right. So, the programming director, very cool. So, what is your role as a programming director coming up at the film festival?
Yeah, so I'm the artistic programming director of the festival. It's super exciting. I'm in charge of selecting the film festivals that screen at
Oh,
our,
cool.
or the film festivals, the films that screen at our film festival.
Oh,
So I'm heavily involved in the selection process, screen all of the films with a group of students from NMSU. We're actually one of the largest student-run film festivals in the nation.
oh
Uh,
wow.
so I work with a group of students throughout the year to kind of help narrow down that selection process,
Oh,
find films, and then put together the schedule and
interesting.
hopefully bring in, filmmakers, of course, local filmmakers. There's so many incredible local filmmakers that will
Oh,
be at the
yeah.
film festival, but also doing outreach to bring filmmakers that might be coming from different places within the US and also the world. We had a really large number of international films this year, which is really exciting too. So hopefully
Oh,
bringing
really? This year
those
coming up, huh?
filmmakers to Cruces. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So just that way I have a more of an understanding. You're the one that decides which films actually get shown. Like you watch
Correct.
them, you say, okay, this one. Ooh.
Yeah, so there was over 500 submissions
What?
this year, and I watched all
You
500.
watched all 500?
I
Man,
did.
you had enough popcorn for all that?
Yeah, it was like days
Dang.
and days and days of just watching
Lord.
films. It was kind of crazy, but in some sick way, I really, really loved it. It was just
Hey, you're
because
getting
they're
paid to watch
independent
movies. Yeah, we
films.
love it too.
And there's nothing like indie film too, like just
Oh yeah.
incredible films. So 500 films, we selected 100, I think a little over 150, which is more than we've ever programmed
Oh, is
before.
that right?
Um,
Wow. So out of
So
500 plus, it was 150.
correct, they got
Dang,
selected.
that's awesome. That's a
Yeah.
lot of film. So, what's the process like when you decline a film? Do you just send like, hey, can you like, do you, I take it you guys open up the door for next year. You're always welcome to resubmit another film, or how's that work?
Yeah, so everything's done through this site called Film Freeway. And so they kind of help streamline the process in that way so that you get to check off like which films are selected and then which ones aren't. And then you can, write out an email that's pretty much saying like, hey, well, you know what, actually, what we did this year was I can't remember if an email went out to films that weren't selected. Of course, when they were selected, I think that the email went out. And
Oh,
then filmmakers were aware of the date that the selection emails would go out. And so it was assumed like if you didn't get the
I didn't get
email,
the
that
email.
means you weren't selected. But it's always encouraged like, hey, submit again, submit
Yeah.
next year, whatever that might look like.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of emails, like over 500 to be, or half of that to be sent.
I was so happy to realize that Film Freeway streamlines that process for me.
You'd be there with, yeah, that's a lot, man. I was like, but that makes sense. If you don't get an email by this date, then you understand why. So,
Yeah,
interesting.
exactly.
Okay, well, I'm actually looking forward to seeing the films that the whole you and the crew have decided to, put on from the festival. I actually met a few filmmakers already, Ian Cole, wherever
Yeah.
that may be. Yeah, and also, let's see, what else have I? It was who's afraid?
Okay. Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, if I'm not getting every film out there that I interviewed, but I'm really trying to keep focused on here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's film that I've interviewed and so on. Also, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Just truly grateful that Ross Marks brought me onto the film festival to just do some short interviews, getting to know the filmmakers and just how everyone's experience is going. So I'm really grateful for that. So I'll be there for a couple of days.
Oh, so exciting. Yeah, there's so many incredible filmmakers, and I really just have to give a huge shout out to the local film crews around the local filmmakers. I mean, all of the filmmakers are incredible, but I think we have such a strong local film community. I was so, so impressed with the local films that were coming through this year to the point that we have 5 local shorts blocks, which is more
Wow.
than we've ever
Awesome.
had before. Just incredibly talented people. So
Yeah,
please go see their film, support local film, support film in southern New Mexico. It's growing and
it
it's really
definitely is.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to say, I remember Las Cruces 10 years ago. I don't think the film industry was getting there, but now that you guys have 828 Productions, I mean, there's Hollywood coming to Las Cruces as well. I know Mel Gibson was out there like a year or two ago. And then Albuquerque has Netflix. I mean, you guys are just so close to each other. It's,
Yeah, totally. And hopefully all of this stuff is trickling down and it's
yeah.
just really exciting to see it grow. And on the topic of 10 years, we're celebrating 10 years for the
Oh,
film
that's
festival.
right. Yeah,
It's
10
just
years.
really exciting to see even how far like the film festival has grown from year
Grown.
one to now year 10.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and congrats on that 10 years. How long you been doing the programming director?
This is actually my first year doing the
Oh, is
programming
it? Oh,
director.
cool.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the very first year of the film festival, I was a student and I volunteered as a student and was one of the students that was helping with programming.
Okay.
And I found such a love for it. And I was given like one category, I think maybe like short films. And then I was like, hey, can I get another category too? They're like, you want to do 2 categories? I was like, shoot, I'll do three, I'll do four. So
No,
I
just
ended up
give it
helping
to
in
me.
a
I don't
bunch of
care.
categories. It was a lot of fun.
I bet.
And so it's kind of cool, like this full circle moment of volunteering in the programming section my first year. And then now we're celebrating 10 years and being in the programming director role is just really like a cool full circle moment.
That's so cool, Natalie. I'm so glad that you got to be a part of that. And just, yeah, that's amazing. For your films right now, do you have anything that you're working on in the future of being a part of a film? Anything like that?
Yeah, totally. I'm UPMing a film. Ryan Rocks is a local filmmaker and
Oh,
she's
yeah, yeah. Interviewing her tomorrow.
amazing. Yeah. So I'm doing her film this weekend. I'm
Oh, you
UP.
are? Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm hoping, I was talking about stepping out of a directing role, but I'm kind of itching to be a little bit, maybe step more into that now
Oh,
that I
you
have a
are?
lot more filmmaking experience. So I'm hoping to, I went to grad school for writing, so I wrote a
Oh, you
thesis
did? Okay.
which was a collection of short stories, and I want to adapt a short story into a script and then hopefully shoot that at some point in the near future.
Oh,
So that
wow.
might be what's next for me.
That's cool. I do want to ask you, would you ever consider bringing up that script that you told me about in the beginning?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Do you have a
absolutely.
title for it, by the way?
Um, Shotgun.
Shotgun. Oh,
Shotgun.
interesting. Okay. Good title. All right. Well,
I'm a one-word title person.
yeah, and that's good because well, I mean, it depends, right? I mean, sometimes there's films with more than one and it's okay, but sometimes, yeah, I've heard that one title is always good too, just to have it just straight, clean like that.
Yeah. And it's easy to remember. I'm
Yeah,
surprised I
no,
remembered
well, that is
it.
the yeah, but very easy to remember. Shotgun. I'm like, oh, cool. That's a good title. I like that.
Thanks.
So to get to know you a little bit more in the personal side, which or do you have a favorite film? Do you have a film that you grew up with, just admiring?
Um, well, a film I grew up admiring is I love Titanic. I
Oh
think
my
it's a
God.
great film. There was totally room for both Jack and Rose on that board, but it is what it is. Um,
I know now that you mentioned that, you're like, oh crap, that is true, huh?
right? Ah. No, I love Titanic growing up. And a film I've been really loving recently is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Really? That one? I've heard a lot of good things about that film.
Yeah, it's really fun. I dressed up as Hunter S. Thompson a couple Halloweens ago. It's
Oh,
really
you did?
people didn't recognize me. They were like, "Who
Like,
are you?" I'm like,
wow.
"Natalie, hey."
Yeah. Why do you like that film so much?
I think just I really love how creatively it was shot. It's just really trippy. There's so many like wide angles, but then you're like really up close to people, so then everything looks really distorted. And I think it just like really amplifies that sense of like the trippiness of the film. I'm also a fan of Hunter S. Thompson's writing, so
How
just
are
getting
you?
to see that translated to film was really cool too.
That is cool. Huh. I've never seen the film.
Oh, you'll have to check it out. It's a ride.
I've seen the cover. I mean, I know it has Johnny Depp, right?
It does, yeah.
Going back to Titanic, it's very interesting how the time they took to make this film, and I love the fact how James Cameron is very about his films, where he's not just the type to. I'm not saying this is bad, but what I've noticed about certain filmmakers that are in the industry, like in Hollywood, there's those that bring out films like every year so quickly, or someone like that. But then James really takes his time with one of his films and takes 3, 5 years to bring it out. And when he does, it's like, God dang, man, it's just so incredible. I'm not saying every year that comes out of a film it's bad, but I'm just saying there's a difference even, and it also includes recording artists, musicians. You bring out an album just so quickly, but then there's those that bring out an album every 3, 5 years, and you just sometimes can tell the difference of like, okay, this one's just well made and taking, the way they took care of the process. There's those that are just like, that was just something quick. Just let's put together music, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You probably are aware of that.
yeah, absolutely. And I think what did it take him like 10 years or something to create the Avatar
Oh
films?
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But it's very interesting, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna still be alive after the 10 years. So I'm gonna take as long as it takes to do this. So
Yeah.
while I bring this out, I'm gonna be okay after that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, and it's true, right? I mean, you did 3 films in 10 years, and after that, it's just like, okay, let me just take a good long vacation.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Like I
not
may
to
type
worry
it,
about it.
but
Like,
it's
you know what I
done.
mean? Yeah, it's like, but
Yeah.
it's very interesting. It's kind of like you're setting yourself up as the foundation for a better future, but you just have to go through the process of a long term.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a really cool process. I mean, what
Yeah.
a true labor of love, years of filmmaking. That's crazy.
Well, if you love what you're doing, you don't even see it as like a job sometimes, huh? Because you
No,
probably you
exactly.
just go up, you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Natalie, for the viewers to see you or see any of your projects or just to find you on social media, if you'd like to present that and see that way you.
Yeah. So I guess the best way to find me is through Instagram. So my handle is at psyched sunflower, Psyched sunflower.
All right. And Facebook or
I'm also on Facebook, just
okay,
Natalie
same.
Streander.
Okay.
I'm a professor at Doña Ana Community College too. I
Oh, you
teach
are? Oh, no
there.
way.
So you can find me at DACC teaching film classes too.
That's
So
cool. I
yeah.
actually heard the that college got a bigger film set, right? Like a stage.
Yeah, so we have a state-of-the-art sound stage that just
Wow.
opened up in the fall. It's incredible. You'll have to come check it out sometime. It's amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. I heard actually I interviewed Andrew Hada. And he told me about that, about
Oh,
the.
amazing. Yeah, it's so cool. Students get such an incredible immersive learning experience in that space, and it should open up a lot of opportunities for a growing industry. So it's really exciting stuff.
That's good. I'm really glad that they were able to expand that film department there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great program, and this just elevates it even more.
Yeah. So Natalie, before we close, I noticed that you do some modeling as well on the side.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of for fun. That's like a hobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get more into also what you do on the side besides film. Modeling, do you sing?
I don't sing. Well, I do sing, but I shouldn't because I'm super
Oh.
tone deaf. But that doesn't stop me from singing. I sing great karaoke.
Do you really? Okay.
So yeah, I'm, excuse me. I model on the side. I also started clay crafting, I
Oh,
guess you
that's
could
right.
call
What
it.
you've been, yeah, I've been seeing your advertisement.
Yeah, so I've just been like making these little clay like mushroom
Yeah,
figurines,
yeah.
and that's just been a lot of fun and kind of been this side hobby that I've been doing.
How's
And
that
yeah, just
going?
outdoors and stuff. Yeah, a few different things.
How's that clay business going?
It's pretty good. I've
Yeah.
just mostly been making stuff for like friends and family, and it's I don't want to make too much of a business out of it because I don't want to take
No.
away the joy in doing it, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
what I have done so far has been really, really fun, and it's just been a cool way to kind of spark my creativity outside of filmmaking too,
That's
which is
cool. Yeah, I've seen them. They're pretty cute. The little
thanks.
figurines, yeah.
Yeah, they're funny.
If someone wanted to purchase one, is that available or is it just
Yeah, totally. The I'll plug the Instagram for that if that's cool. It's at Lil Funkies, LilFunkiez at Lil Funkies.
all right? And then they'll see it on your main page plus
Yeah, there's a link in the bio to do an adoption form. So that's the order form.
adoption form.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a process, huh?
There's a process, and then when you get one, you get an adoption certificate. It's
Oh
a
my
whole
God, how
thing.
creative.
Yeah, it's been a
That's
lot of fun to put that together. And I totally did it on a whim too. Like one day, oh, I do yoga. So I was in yoga,
oh, okay.
and I was in Shavasana, and I was like, I'm gonna make clay figurines. And then the next day I ordered the clay, and then a couple weeks later I just did it. And it's
Wow.
been the most on the whim thing I've ever done, but it's really fun.
I wonder what your next idea is when you go to yoga.
I know, right?
Make the best romance film ever, and the next thing you know, it's in Hollywood. Like, damn.
Right,
I need to
Titanic.
go to yoga. I'll see what ideas I get.
Yeah, totally. I would totally recommend it.
All right. Well, thank you, Natalie, for your time and coming on Rhythm and Roads and a little fun talk on music, Backstreet Boys and Sync and everything else. So,
Yeah, totally. Thanks for having me, and thanks for doing this showcase on, all things Cruces Film Fest and local filmmakers. I think it's a really cool thing you're doing. So
oh, well,
thanks.
thank you. I appreciate that. About 2 months ago, I never thought of like, let's try to do like anything pertaining to film but then I was like, wait, my brother's into filmmaking. I like film. I was like, well, you know what? Let's bring on some filmmakers. And then that's how it just took off. And next thing you know is meeting different people in the film industry and or just the community in Las Cruces. And then they're just like, hey, interview this person for their film coming out in the Las Cruces. I was like, great. There you
Yay.
go. Now I'm on board coming over. I'm like, cool. So I'm truly grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for being such a great support for the Rhythm and Roads. And like I mentioned, this platform is for those that have a story to share your story. We all have a story. It's not always just the best and the greatest. It's real, it's just being real and sharing. I went through struggles, but where I'm at, I didn't give up. And every story matters. Every story can influence the next person, the next entrepreneur, filmmaker, actor, author, who knows? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
But your story matters too.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching on this episode. Thank you, Natalie, again for coming on Rhythm and Roads, and we'll see you at the festival.
Bye. Thank you so much.